Okay, so here is kind of a repeat. We've already done this before. So we have tuple to numpy array. So you create a tuple and then use that tuple in numpy array, and now I'm printing the type of, so the type, we didn't look at type. So if you say type of an object, it's going to tell you what kind of object it is. So it's an integer object, a floating point object, a string object. Here, this one T1ARR is a numpy ND array, n dimensional array. So this, the type is numpy ND array. And then the shape, so there's only one dimension, it has 3 elements in it. Okay, data type is string, so that one is string Unicode 1, and then ndim, number of dimensions, is 1. And here we have list. Okay. Again, same thing from a list. Okay. And then we have reshape here. Fine. Okay. Now there are some functions in NumPy that we can use as to create arrays consisting of ones or zeros or things like that. So here we have NP. Oh, okay. So there is one function that is similar to range. That is arange. Okay, there is a. It's not range, but arange. Okay, and that's an NP function. So you cannot use arange as arange, okay, because it will give you an error. Arange is part of NumPy. So if you say np dot arange, and then arange works like the range, so it generates not a range object, but it generates a NumPy array. So if you say np arange 10, so it gives you 0 through 9 as an NP array. Okay, that is it. A simple range gives you a range object, whereas np dot arange will give you an NP array, n dimensional array. Okay. And then np dot zeros will give you range of, the size. So here it will all be ones. NP ones will give you a range, an array. All elements are ones, and the number here is the size. How many ones you want? Okay, and you can specify a shape as well here. See, like you use np dot zeros, and instead of being a single size, if you give a shape, then it will give you a shape of the array. They're all zeros. So here are the ones. Ones like, I don't know what that is, produces a one array of the same shape and date. Oh, ones like will be if you give another array, so it'll use the shape of the other array and gives you ones like it. Okay, same 0. Now empty will give you just empty, and empty like would be like the other one, and so on. So these are different kinds of arrays that you can create. All right. So question 6: create a 3 by 4 NumPy array from a range of numbers starting from 0. Okay. So we want to use np dot arange Okay, so if you say I want say 12, so it's going to give you a one-dimensional array, 0 starting from 0 through 11. So I'm using arange, and since np dot arange, it gives you an array, instead of a range object. But that's not what we want. We want that to be a 3 by 4 NumPy array. Okay. So there are two ways of doing this. Okay, so we can let me try this. I'm not sure it will do it. 3 by 4. Okay, so that's not going to. It needs a number here. Okay, so that's going to give you an array like that, and then we want to reshape it. So we can say reshape three by 4. Okay. So this is going to generate an array of 12 numbers starting from 0 to 11, and then the reshape is going to change the shape of that one-dimensional array into a two-dimensional array with the shape of 3, 4. Okay? Create a 3 by 10 NumPy array of zeros. All right. So now here we say NP zeros, and then you can specify a shape right here. This one will take a shape. Okay, and the shape has to be a tuple. So like that. So within the brackets, you provide a tuple. So they're all zeros of that shape. Okay. These are useful for storing information that you develop from a model.